All right, Saturday morning, late June, and we are trying to test fit this engine. We're going to get it in there and build the engine mounts and get it ready for final gel coat and mounting. So we got the engine up in the air here. Rented an engine hoist from Fox Rentals and Grapevine, and got the engine way up in the air, and I've got the gimbal housing mounted. And we're just going to go in and we're going to set it on the back engine mounts, and then we're going to measure for our front engine mounts. Get those built. We'll pull the engine out, set it back on its little crate, and then mount the engine mounts, and then paint, and then put this thing back in next weekend. Yep, I got about 3 inches to spare.
Anything got to be moved?
Nope. But we're gonna have to come forward with the boat.
Sure, we want to stop this now?
No, actually, come on down. I need to know. Oh, stop.
Whoa, yeah, go back up.
We're gonna have to come back up, move everything forward.
Yeah, come back up.
Yeah, no, it's in the back of my truck.
This floor looks great.
Thank you.
You got to put it.
Well, she's sitting exactly where she needs to be. We actually used the alignment tool and it slid in perfectly. I've got the Corsa exhaust installed. We're actually measuring for that so I can put my battery and my trim pump underneath there. I really didn't need to do this, but this is just confirmation that exactly where we need to build our... Oh, I did, okay. To double check everything. So it's working great. We're going to measure for this Corsa exhaust, get this engine back out of here and make some engine mounts. Doing a test fit. Oh. Just trying to figure out a good way to mount this trim pump. Stay away from the exhaust. We got the battery here, got the trim pump turned sideways, and it looks like the trim hoses are going to fit okay. I didn't want to do like this though. This is the way it wants to be right here. Actually, that'll work just like that. Now, she's officially sitting back on her engine mount, or the makeshift engine mount. Got everything measured exactly where we want it. I got the gimbal housing back off, and we're actually getting ready to take it completely apart. We're going to take the steering knuckle out of it and drop everything out so that way we can get this gimbal ring off. Normally you have to drill a hole in the side or cut this plate out here if it's on the boat, but because we have access, we got 2 5/8 inch wrenches going to go in here, and we'll loosen that nut, and the steering pin should drop out. Keyword should. So we'll see that here in a minute. And other than that, we're going to start taking all the shift stuff out, the trim cylinders out, get ready for paint. This is your steering pin. It goes up through the gimbal ring right here into the inside, which the steering arm attaches to. And let me tell you, that was a butt whipping and a half. This is very, very rusty. I'm going to be ordering a stainless steel one from JR Marine. Man, That was really, really tough getting this sucker out of here. Really tough.
Not a penetrating oil.
I used probably a half can of the penetrating oil. And let me see, 1, 2, 3 screwdrivers. We didn't have a punch to do this correctly. Really, you should probably use a cold chisel or something, but these were small enough to actually get down inside there. And these are the little Harbor Freight, you know, $7 or $8 screwdrivers for a whole pack, so I'm not really worried about it. But what we did is we would get this, you could see, we just got it right down on there. We would hammer it just a little bit at a time. Squirt more penetrating oil in there, hammer a little bit more, squirt more penetrating oil, and it finally came out. Man, that is a whipping. But as you can see, you don't have to drill the holes inside on this transom assembly because you can actually get to everything. So we're going to clean it up and try to get the bottom one off, which is in the very bottom. It looks like it's got, oh look, it just fell out. Oh nice. I wonder why it did that. Alright, well, I guess we'll pull it the rest of the way out. You guys may remember the old motor mount. This is what it is. We're making it out of my old table here that I used for making all the mix and everything. What we've done is we cut out the top pieces, which if we look at this guy on the inside, it's basically made out of 2 3/4 inch pieces of ply together, sandwiched. So it's like an upside down U for the most part. So we measured it out and we got 4 inches by 11 inches, and this will be our top. And then we have this neat little angle finder, which I found at Home Depot, that I just stuck up against the stringer, and then this goes to the bottom of the hull. And I measured how far down from where we want to be for the engine mount to where we start the fall of the slant. And it was 5 inches, and so that's where my mark is. And I put this up here, and I just drew it down, then I extended it with my straight edge. So theoretically, this is what we need. So we're going to cut this out and test it to make sure, and if it's right, we just duplicate this times 8 is I think what we need. So we need 2 on each side, 4 each side, 8, yeah. And then this sits on top like this. So that should make us our proper height. And luckily it's wood, so if we screw up, we can just cut again. I've got my engine mounts made, and all we did is we took and tack mounted it, or tacked them together with my DeWalt, just to hold them together. And then I'm going to toenail them so I can get this first shot. All I'm trying to do is just basically test fit. This is not permanent because we're going to take them apart and glue them together. Can you hold that? Look at that. Made it wrong. Alright, I'm gonna get my pliers and pull this out. Alright, it's right this time.
Yeah, we'll do it right this time. Okay.
So now we've got... There. So now we're going to go in and just double check that it fits nicely inside the hull, so that way we can duplicate it. I would say so. That's exactly what we wanted, is a 1/2 inch down. We'll put a little bit of peanut butter in there to round off the edge. Cannot ask for a better fit than that. Alright, I'm very happy. It's freaking perfect. So now, we tear it apart. Almost ready to put these things together. Got them all cut out and dry fitted in. They fit nicely. Mixing up some peanut butter here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue each one of them together, and then I'm going to screw them down with sheetrock screws just to hold them together. And once they're dry, we'll back out the sheetrock screws, seal them up really good with resin, and glue the tops on that way. Screw those down same way. So we'll just, it's going to take about a 3 or 4 step process, but we'll be able to get it done this afternoon. And then as soon as we're done with that, we'll jack up the boat in the front, sand this down, clean it. I had a little bit of the grease from the outdrive thing, or the tube leak in there, so I need to clean that really good. Sand it really good down, wipe it with acetone, and we'll be able to put the motor mounts in. So I tell you, that was a whipping. I couldn't have done it without both my dads here. They definitely helped out a lot. That's a big monster to be wrestling around. So I'm gonna get some peanut butter mixed up, put these things together and let them dry. I have 2 engine mounts in rough form. Now they need to be sanded down to get rid of the excess peanut butter, but they're solid as a rock, hard. They're ready to go in the boat. So I started jacking the bow up, get in here and sand and wash everything out really good, clean it, get ready to glue these things in. I've been kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do to hold these in, because obviously you got to put it up against the stringer and hold it there and keep it from going, as it dries. So I got to come up with something. I was kind of thinking maybe I'd do an L bracket and just shoot a screw into the stringer and then putty the hole when I'm done. That's not really a good idea. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe we'll cut a piece of wood to kind of wedge it in there to hold them until they dry. Right now I'm going to go in there and do a little bit of sanding. Put the fan in there first of all, because man, God, it's hot. And sand down, rough up the areas that I'm going to be gluing to, and get this ready. And then once it's dried good tomorrow, when we put our peanut butter fillets in there, we'll cut off some good old 1708. Start working. It's the end of a Saturday, and I've got everything apart where I need it to be. I know what I need to buy, what I need to do as far as fixing up this gimbal assembly. I sanded down all the inside where I need it to be. I did not glue them in. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run up to Home Depot, and I'm going to get 2 L brackets that so I can, with small short wood screws, so when I put the peanut butter on it, I can actually screw to the stringer, hold it, and then once it's done I'll pull it out, peanut butter the hole, and then glass it in. It's the best I can come up with, and actually provide some clamping pressure for the peanut butter to hold. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll do that first thing in the morning. It only takes about 30 minutes for it to kick, so then we can start glassing. So I washed it out, cleaned it really good, and it's ready to go. Then I started taking apart the gimbal, and I tell you, this is hard, and you can see I've got a lot of corrosion here, and I need to clean all that up so that way I can shoot some primer on it. I'm going to have to replace all the bushings. The bushings are in really bad shape, especially those on top. There is a bushing, I do believe, right here. I got to push out. Nope, that's actually on the gimbal. Yeah, there's a nylon bushing here. There's another nylon bushing on either side for the wrist pin holders. Now, one thing you got to make sure of is that thing rusted so bad. That little what do you call it, steering pin that came up through here. I got to make sure and clean this really good to there's actually like a little indentation right here that I need to get out and make sure it's nice and clean before we put this back on with the new steering pin. So that's going to be my gig for this week, to get this all done, along with getting all that painted inside there. I cannot get the oil pass-through assembly out, which really I don't need to. We'll just clean it up. I'll put a little cap on it. We'll spray it. I'm not going to worry about it. It just isn't coming out. It actually goes through right here, and there's just too much corrosion and stuff like that. So anyway, that's where I am right now. I'm also going to stop at a Home Depot. I'm going to get some more simple green or degreaser stuff to completely scrub all these components really good, get them super clean before we start sanding on them and putting some primer down. So you don't want any grease whenever you're trying to mess around with that. But
And I'm glad I took this apart, man. I almost put this back together as is, and we'd have had this back apart in a couple years. I don't want to have to do that. So, anyway, oh, excuse me. I guess I'll see you tomorrow and see what we can get done then. And hopefully, that's just probably what, week and a half, 2 weeks from getting this done. I hope.